Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to fix both of them together. And the content that I'm going to talk to you about tonight is the breaking situation that's occurring in Wisconsin. So, this video is just going to be about what we know at this moment. There's going to be a lot of things that continue to develop as we go into this. There's going to be a lot of commentary that we add to this. There's going to be a lot of defending gun rights that comes after this. All that stuff will come in time. Right now, I'm only going to walk you through what we actually know right now. Unfortunately, in this situation, this tragedy, there were actual fatalities. Okay, I'm going to walk you through the entire thing. But at the onset, we have to stop this. This must stop. And by the way, the natural solution to making this stop is not strip an entire population of their rights. That's pretty much a non-starter. As I've said that, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you are wanting to spread freedom to and fro, and make sure you defend that Second Amendment with me in light of all of these really, really horrible tragedies that I despise covering because I wish they didn't happen. But anyway, let's get into it. All right, so I got two videos I'm going to show you here, and this is from the police chief in Wisconsin. So I believe this is in Madison. I'm pretty sure it's in Madison, Wisconsin. This is a week out from Christmas. I mean, these things are so horrendous and so bad. I wish we could make them stop immediately. It really is a tragedy every time something like this pops off. But anyway, let's get into this. Let me show you the police chief, and I'm going to kind of show you some interesting things about what they're not saying. Okay, let's get into it.
Here are the details. Today at 10:57 a.m., our team was called to the Abundant Life Christian School in reference to an active shooter. We know that 3 people are dead, including the suspect shooter. We know that the suspect shooter was a teenage student who attended the school. At this time, we're not releasing the age or gender of the student or any other identifying remarks about the student.
All right, so first of all, this is interesting because you know that that's going to be leaked very quickly. So it's absolutely maddening that 2 families are not going to have 2 more people because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, I'm going to dive into all the stuff that we need to know, like was there security at the school? What are we talking about from a standpoint of firearm? What are we talking about from access? All the things. And I guarantee you, I'm going to go off on the gun controllers when they try to utilize this as a tragedy to get their gun control push, because they do it every single time. That's coming. But I am very curious why they would not release the generic details like age and gender. That sparks an interest point to me. Why? I mean, I understand respecting the family, and I don't want you to out anybody, but why not the general? Okay, let's just say it's a unique decision, just to be out of an abundance of caution. Let's keep going because there's a lot of things it could be. Let's deal with what we know.
2 other people have died. That died were a teacher and a teenage student. 6 other people were injured. 2 students are now in critical condition in the hospital, and these injuries are considered life-threatening injuries. 4 students are also at other area hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. But these are just the physical injuries that we know about. We know that this was the middle of the day of a school day, and so there will be other injuries that we'll have to face for a very, very long time. And we're going to do everything we can as a community to heal those injuries as well.
All right, and that makes sense, healing the injuries. Again, I'm still stuck on the vagueness of the reporting that's coming out on this from the police chief, not the reporters, from the actual police chief. That's not unprecedented, but it is unusual, that level of vagueness. Well, anyway, we'll figure out in time. So that's one of the pieces that I want to show you. The other thing is another video from the same guy, the same chief, but I'm going to replay it here in a second. But another point of interest is this is a second Christian school. There's an interesting theme there, particularly when you're talking about the Covenant School in April in Tennessee of last year. I wish these things would just never even have begun with Columbine. They were horrible, but let's keep going.
Officers located a juvenile who they believe was responsible for this deceased in the building. Additionally, the officers began administering life-saving efforts to anyone who was wounded and making sure that those persons were transported. What we know is that a total of about 7 persons were transported from this scene to area hospitals for treatment. We know that at least 3 people have lost their lives, including a juvenile person. I don't have any other information about those persons who have lost their lives, and I'm not going to release that until we have, of course, spoken with family members and ensuring that they are fully aware of this tragic, tragic scene that occurred today. I want officers located.
And I think that's another interesting little tidbit. We've got a juvenile. Okay, so now that we've kind of caught up, we know the impact, we know the tragedy, we know the instance, we know the vagueness of the reporting. Let's just kind of go with what we do know and kind of extrapolate out from there. We know as a juvenile or a teenager, as he said in the other one, we know that it's a very vague around the details, and we unfortunately know that a teacher lost their life and another teenager lost their life. Okay, multiple other injuries. If you're going down the road of gun control, and I'll give you a fair warning right now, gun controllers, if you're watching this, Everytown for Gun Safety, Giffords.org, the road that you're about to go down is going to be poorly received because this is a juvenile. They don't have the ability to buy a gun. Juveniles don't have the ability to own guns. They don't have the ability to have red flag laws stop them from doing anything because they can't have them. They don't necessarily have the ability to fall under a safe storage law because, again, they can't own the guns. There's all sorts of things. Magazine capacity limits. We don't know enough about the firearms involved to even have an idea what the conversation is. But I guarantee you, those things are going to come out. But what I will bet you, probably bottom dollar, we're going to see pretty soon and pretty shortly, is it's going to be magazine limits. It's going to be assault weapon bans. It's going to be red flag laws. It's going to be, did I say safe storage? It might not. Whatever. If I duplicated it, whatever. And then, maybe, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But that's probably what it's going to be. And you can tell I'm a little disheveled on this because I despise when these things happen. It's horrible. It should never happen. We should not be in a situation where it is an acceptable alternative for children or teenagers or any individual to take out their pain and their struggle on other people at the cost of their lives. That is just... We need to harden these schools, and we need to have the Democrats stop playing games where they just don't want anything but their solution and just keep everything vulnerable because there's clearly a problem. And I hate to see it. I hate covering it, but we're going to because we have to. This is something that's really important for us to say. All right, so that's what I've got for you guys. That's just kind of the lay of the land where we're at right now. I will do one more video tonight where I guarantee you, and Katie's already kind of feeding me some information of the gun control side of this, their response, and we'll break that down when the time comes tonight. I will see you guys on the next one. Later.